What if everything you're waiting for never comes? What if the miracle you're praying for isn't money, isn't luck, but something you already have and can't see? Today's story is about a family who almost lost everything chasing a dream. A son who had to choose between his father's approval and his own heart, and a lottery ticket that taught them what winning really means. This is the story of the Rivers, and maybe it's yours too. In a small town in upstate New York, the Rivera family was drowning, not in water, in debt, in fear, in broken dreams. The father, Tony, worked double shifts at an auto parts factory. The mother, Maria, cleaned offices downtown, and their son, Diego, 19 years old, spent his nights playing guitar in his tiny room, dreaming of stages he'd never seen. But Tony had no patience for dreams. Diego, enough with that noise. You're not a kid anymore. Get a real job. Help this family. Diego would answer, frustrated and defensive. Music is real, Dad. I just need time. But Tony would interrupt him, angry and tired. Time? Tom, we don't have time. We have bills. We have debts. We have reality every night. The same fight every morning. The same silence. Diego felt like a failure, like his dreams were selfish, stupid, wrong. So he stopped playing loud. He played quietly, when no one could hear, when no one could judge. And then December came, and with it, hope, false hope. Maria came home one day excited, almost childlike in her joy. Tony, I bought it, the Powerball ticket for Christmas. Half the town is playing the same numbers this year, the quick pick. Everyone's been talking about, if we win, everything changes. Tony allowed himself to hope for the first time in months. If we win, we pay the debts. We fix the house. Diego can go to college, a real degree. Diego sat there quiet and bitter, thinking, right, college, not music school. For 2 weeks, the family lived in fantasy. They made plans. They argued about how to spend the money they didn't have yet. The ticket sat on the kitchen counter like a golden promise. Diego watched his parents smile for the first time in months, and he hated it, because deep down, he knew they weren't dreaming of freedom. They were dreaming of control. December 22nd arrived. The Powerball drawing. The whole town seemed to be watching. Families gathered in living rooms, at sports bars, at the diner on Main Street. The Rivers sat together on their worn couch, holding hands. The numbers started appearing on the TV screen. The announcer's voice rang out clear and exciting, and tonight's winning numbers are 7, 14, 21, 35, 49, and Powerball 23. Maria screamed. Tony jumped up. Those were their numbers. Their numbers for $150 million. The Rivers couldn't breathe. They ran to the kitchen, laughing, shaking, crying. But when they reached the counter, Maria's voice broke with panic. Where is it? Where is the ticket? Gone. The counter was empty. They tore the house apart, under cushions, and drawers, and coat pockets. Nothing. And then the accusations started. Tony shouted, "You lost it. You always lose everything." Maria cried back, "Me. You were the one who cleaned off the counter yesterday." Diego finally yelled, "Stop. Just stop. Maybe we never deserved it. Maybe this is what we get for putting all our hope in luck instead of working for something real." And in that silence, something broke, not just the dream, but the illusion that money would fix them, that winning would make them whole. Diego walked out. He grabbed his guitar and left. He didn't know where he was going. He just walked. He ended up at the town park, empty now. Everyone had gone home to celebrate or cry. But there, sitting on a bench near the gazebo, was an old man, Matthews, the town's retired music teacher. He was holding a harmonica, playing quietly. "You look like someone who just lost something big," Matthews said gently. Diego sat down, exhausted. "We lost a lottery ticket for $150 million. Gone." Matthews nodded slowly. "Ah, so you lost money you never had." Diego looked confused. What? Matthews glanced at Diego's guitar case. Tell me something, kid. If you had one, would you be happier? Or just less afraid? Diego didn't answer, because he knew the truth. Winning wouldn't make his father respect him. It wouldn't make his music matter. It would just delay the fight. Matthew spoke softly but wisely. You know what the real lottery is. Waking up with something you love to do, and people who love you enough to fight with you. Your family isn't broken because you're poor. They're broken because they stopped believing in each other. Diego's voice cracked. But my dad, he doesn't believe in me. Matthews was firm but kind. Then show him something worth believing in. Not someday. Tonight. Diego walked back through town, slowly, thinking, and then he saw something. The community center. A banner. Christmas. Potluck. Everyone welcome. Open McNight. He walked in. The place was full families, kids, elderly folks. But the small stage sat empty. The organizer, a woman named Sarah, looked stressed. Diego hesitated. I can play. If you need someone. Sarah looked relieved and grateful. Oh, thank God. Yes, please. Just play something warm. Something that feels like home. Diego sat up in the corner of the stage. His hands shook. He hadn't played in front of people in months. But then he started. A simple melody. A Christmas song his grandmother used to sing. Soft, honest, real. And people stopped talking. They listened. Some smiled. Some cried. And in the back of the room, Tony and Maria walked in. They'd been searching for Diego everywhere. Maria whispered, emotional, Tony, look at him. Tony stood frozen, watching his son, really watching. And for the first time, he didn't see a dreamer. He saw an artist, a young man with a gift that made strangers feel less alone. When Diego finished, the room erupted. Applause, whistles. A little girl ran up and hugged his leg. Play more, please. And then Tony walked over. Diego looked up, expecting anger. But instead, Tony's voice was thick with emotion. I didn't know. Diego, I didn't know you could do that. Diego answered quietly. I tried to tell you. Tony sat down, broken. I was scared. Scared that if you followed music, you'd end up like me, working forever, never enough. I wanted better for you, but I was wrong. This is better. That night, the Rivers didn't go home rich, but they went home different. The neighbors had heard about the lost ticket, and instead of pity, they offered help, jobs, gigs, support. Sarah hired Diego to play every Friday night at the community center. The local coffee shop wanted him for Sunday mornings, and Tony's supervisor offered him a foreman position at the factory. The money they needed. It didn't fall from the sky. They earned it. Together, step by step, and Diego kept playing. Not in his room anymore, but out loud, in front of people, in front of his father, who now sat in the front row, eyes shining with something he'd lost years ago, pride. Here's what the Rivers learned, and what I hope you hear tonight. Waiting for. Luck is just another way of giving up. It's easier to dream about winning than to fight for what you already have. But real wealth, it's not in a lottery ticket. It's in the courage to show up, to try, to ask for help, to believe that you are the miracle you've been waiting for. Diego didn't need $450 million to become a musician. He needed one night, one choice, one moment of bravery. And his father didn't need money to respect his son. He needed to see him shine. So stop waiting. Stop putting your dreams on hold until the right moment comes. Stop believing that one big win will fix everything. Because the truth is, you already have what you need. You have the day. You have your hands. You have your heart. You have people who love you, even when they don't know how to show it. What's the one thing you've been waiting for permission to do? The dream you've been hiding? The conversation you've been avoiding? Do it today. Not when you win. Not when you're ready. Now. Because life doesn't wait for perfect moments. It waits for brave ones. Now it's your turn. Go. Play your song. If this story touched your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe to this channel and share it with someone who needs to hear it today. Someone who's waiting for their miracle instead of creating it. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications. And let's build a community of people who choose courage over comfort. See you in the next story.